Hello, it's Steve Jameson here, Managing Broker of RE/MAX Crest Realty Westside with your frequently asked questions. Today's question comes from one of our associates at RE/MAX Metro on Commercial Drive, and their question is, I met a buyer at my open house and then subsequently showed them the same property on 3 separate occasions. They told me they were not working with a realtor, but I just got a call from another realtor saying that they have an offer that they want to present. What's my recourse as far as my commission goes? This is a bit of a tricky one because it's your listing and there's actually no such thing as implied agency in a dual agency situation. If this was a person that you had showed someone else's listing or showed them several properties and then they decide to buy that property with another realtor, you might be able to argue that there's implied agency even if you didn't get them to sign anything, and you may have a claim on that commission. But in this case, because you're the listing agent and there's no such thing as implied agency, you need, with dual agency, of course, you need to get the express consent of them to work, both parties to work with you. So you already have the listing, the buyer would have to expressly agree to work with you as well, and you don't have that in this situation. So one way you might want to handle this in the future, and I'm not saying you don't have a claim, you may have a claim, talk to your manager, but it's going to be a tricky one for sure. But perhaps a better way to handle this in the future. So open houses are fair game. You know, if somebody wants to buy something at an open house and you spend an hour with them at an open house, that's just your job as a listing agent. But if you do private showings with people after that, again, you should always ask, and maybe before each showing you should ask, are you working with a realtor? I would also maybe suggest you ask it in a different way. So for example, if they said, no, I'm not working with a realtor, you might say, okay, well, just to be clear, if you end up wanting to write an offer on this property, would I be the one writing that offer? And it just puts them in a position where they hopefully have to answer honestly and say, oh, well, my cousin's a realtor, and of course I'll be getting him to do it. Well, great, get your cousin to come for the showing. So that's one way. Another option that I would recommend, and you may not want to do this on the first private showing, but I would definitely do it on the second private showing, is bring a limited dual agency agreement with you, and of course a blue brochure. So open house, fair game. First showing, maybe you should do the blue brochure, working with a realtor, and explain how agency works, explain dual agency, and at that point you may just want to go ahead and do the showing. I mean, that is your job as the listing agent. You're supposed to be trying to sell the house, and they've said they don't have an agent, which is fair enough. Then if they want to come back, so for that second private showing, what I would do is I would get them to sign the exclusive buyer agency, not the exclusive buyer agency, the limited dual agency agreement, because you've already explained dual agency in the working with a realtor brochure. Now you're simply saying, great, you've mentioned you don't have a realtor, so by signing the limited dual agency agreement, they're just agreeing that if they buy this property, you'll be representing both parties. And it'll be very difficult for them at that point to get another agent involved. They can, at any point they're allowed to have another agent involved, but you'll have a much, much stronger case if you want to go for a commission claim saying that, I had them sign this, they agreed, I was their agent for this property. So it's never going to be an easy situation, and again, talk to your managing broker. We may need to get the board involved if you're wanting to make a commission claim, but taking these kind of steps when it's your own listing can definitely solidify your case and hopefully help you if you're in this situation. If you have any other questions, please send them in.